Hi guys. Um, so I talk a lot. Sorry, I know I am always like sending you guys videos, but it's just easier for me to say it instead of type it. It drives me crazy trying to drive or trying to drive. Well, that too, but trying to type what I'm thinking because I think really fast and I actually type or I actually talk really fast. I do not in any way, shape, or form type as fast as I talk. Plus, there's just a lot going on in my head. I told Kai and Mary Beth today that I feel like sometimes my husband calls me a race car stuck in traffic. It's the worst. Okay, so I want to tell you a little bit of a story about myself, and it's this is my vulnerable side. So when my kids were teenagers, we lived in the Southwest, and we lived in an area in the country where 49% of the people in the county were addicted to meth, and the other 51% were affected by it because they were related to the people addicted to meth. And one of those people addicted to meth was my daughter. And at the age of 17 years and 9 months, she decided to get emancipated from her parents because meth makes you not think very straight. So she would just have had to wait like 3 more months, and then she would have been like a legal adult and she could do whatever she wanted. Anyway, the fact that my kid wanted to divorce me basically broke my heart. The court date was on my birthday. I don't say any of this to make you feel sorry for me, but I just need to sort of let you know that it was a really tough time for me. And so I started going to counseling. And I mean, my daughter blamed me for a lot of things in her life. Okay, my daughter blamed me for everything in her life because that's what moms and daughters do sometimes. They just knock heads and they don't get along sometimes very well. So I started going to this counselor, and she was just constantly trying to get across to me that whatever my daughter's problems were her problems, right? And I felt like a failure of a mom, and I just couldn't get past it. I was having such a hard time with it. And I mean, every week it was just tears and sadness, and I would go home exhausted, and I was just like, it was just like such a burden for me to carry. It was so heavy. It was such a heavy burden. And I had spent my daughter's whole life carrying her burden to where it was actually exhausting for me. It actually was physically heavy. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever been through depression before, but to me it was exhausting because I wanted to save my daughter from hurting. And so anyway, I had been going to counseling for about 10 months, and I had made a little bit of a breakthrough here and there, but not completely 100%. And so I came in one day and I see all these garbage bags in my therapist's office, and I was like, that is so weird. Come to find out, well, let me not get ahead of myself. When I got there, she hands me this bag of putrid. It was putrid garbage. It was so gross. It was that kind of putrid that like it had begun to break down and there was like liquid at the bottom of the trash bag. It was that gross. It was disgusting. And if you know anything about New Mexico, you know that it gets really hot. And so things just start to get a little nasty, right? And she goes, here, hold this for me. So I was like, okay. So I'm standing there holding this bag of trash, and I sit down, like I'm carrying it all over her office. Like, I look back on it now and I'm like, what were you doing, Elmore? Right? So, and we're talking, and I'm getting angry. Like, we're going through this whole therapy session, and I'm getting pissed off because I'm like, ugh, what is she doing? This is gross, and this stinks, and this is gross, and I'm feeling so put upon, right? And I started to cry because when I get angry, then I cry. I don't know if anybody else out there is like that, but when I get angry, I cry. So I start to cry because I'm so pissed off, right? And she goes, "What are you crying about?" And I was like, "Well, I'm mad." And it was the first time I admitted that I was mad, that I was like, this is so ridiculous. And she goes, "What are you mad about?" I was like, "Well, because you just handed me your trash, and it's gross and it's stinky, and I don't want to hold it anymore." She goes, "Well, go throw it away." And I was like, "Okay." And she goes, "No, don't throw it away. It's not your garbage. It's my garbage. Hand it back to me and tell me to take care of my own garbage." You guys, a light went off in my head. And it was like everything from the last 9 months finally came together. And I just looked at her and I felt foolish because I was like, all this time, I've been carrying around other people's putrid, disgusting, stinking garbage. And I was so angry with myself because no wonder I was exhausted. I was so worried about everybody else's garbage and everybody else's stuff that I never had time to really deal with my own, number one. And number two, that I wasn't solving any problems. I wasn't solving my daughter's problems by carrying around her garbage. And honestly, I allowed her to get worse because she never had to deal with her garbage. Like, is anybody else getting a light bulb going bing, right? So, like, I hope you get it long before I do. Before I did. Because, I mean, it was just like this duh moment, This is where we're at with this generation of kids and the Black lives in the Black community. We have been carrying around their stinking, putrid garbage for decades and decades and decades. We've done what we could do. We've changed laws. We've changed the Constitution. We've changed the Bill of Rights. We marched with them, during the Million Man March when Martin Luther King did his "I Have a Dream" speech. We did that. We fought. Our relatives, our ancestors fought to free them. They fought alongside them to fight for other people's rights. Guys, whatever garbage they're trying to hand us, it's not our garbage. It's not. And the way that they're approaching this situation is not making us want to march with them. How do they feel like we're going to have unity with them if all they're doing is trying to tear us down? And I can tell you right now, I'm stubborn. I will not be picking up anybody else's garbage. I've already done that. It's exhausting. Aren't y'all exhausted? I mean, I just want to hear, aren't you guys exhausted from carrying around this, this burden of, well, they said we had to fix it. We're supposed to feel guilty because we're white. We're all the problems in this country are our fault. They are not. They are not. Don't believe that. And don't pick up somebody else's garbage. It's not your garbage. Sometimes it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what has happened to you in the past. What matters is how you deal with it moving forward. You have all the choices. And that goes for everybody, not just the Black community, not just the Hispanic community, not just the white community. It is an individual mindset. So I just want to encourage you guys that you don't have to carry around somebody else's stinking, putrid garbage. And I just want to encourage you that we still can help them. We still can. We can still love them. But we don't have to put up with the lies that they say to us. We don't have to believe the lies that they say to us. We can educate them. They don't even know their own true history, guys. They don't. They don't. They've been fed lies their whole lives for generations. We can educate them. And then it's their choice to either believe it or not. It's their choice to check out, and see if we're telling the truth or not. We can only do what we can do. But we are not, it's not our responsibility to make anybody else's life better. We can't. We can't. So I just wanted to put that out there for you guys, because I know that so many of you have a heart to help, but carrying their putrid trash and garbage and baggage around for them, that doesn't help them deal with it. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there for you guys, and I just wanted to tell you that I love you, and you don't deserve what they're saying about you. None of us do. And it's not true. They don't deserve what happened to them, but they have the choice of how they're going to deal with it moving forward. And they can either live in kindness or they can live in hatred. It's their choice, but we're not going to change them. It's their choice how they're going to deal with it. Period. All we can do is educate ourselves and pass along our knowledge and pray. Prayer is our sharpest tool. And the rest is up to God. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you that. See you later. Bye.